Most people over 60 are unknowingly destroying their kidneys before they even finish their first cup of morning tea, and the terrifying part is that by the time your body starts showing you the warning signs, the damage is already deep inside, quiet, invisible, and growing. Your kidneys do not send you a text message when they are struggling. They do not knock on your chest the way your heart does. They simply slow down, filter less, and one morning you wake up feeling exhausted, swollen, foggy, and heavy. And you assume it is just age, just life, just the way things are now. But here's the truth that changed everything for my patients, and that I want you to hear clearly today. What happens in the first 90 minutes after you open your eyes each morning determines more about your kidney health over the next 10 years than almost any medication, any supplement, or any doctor's visit ever could. The morning is not just the start of your day. It is the most critical biological window your body has to either repair itself or fall further behind, and most seniors are spending that window in the worst possible way without even knowing it. I am Dr. Alan Foster, and after more than 2 decades of working with patients over the age of 60, I can tell you with absolute confidence that the difference between the people who age with strength and clarity and the people who decline rapidly is almost never one dramatic event. It is the quiet habits, the small morning choices, the things you do before breakfast that nobody ever talks about. Today, I want to share with you 3 specific things that your kidneys desperately need you to do every single morning, backed by science, tested in real patient lives, and powerful enough that even small, consistent effort will create results you can feel within weeks. And before we go any further, I want you to think about someone in your life, a neighbor, a sibling, a close friend, someone over 60 who seems tired all the time, who complains of back pressure, who gets swollen feet by afternoon, who says they just do not feel like themselves anymore. Share this with them after you finish watching, because what I am about to tell you could genuinely change their life. The first thing your kidneys need from you every single morning begins even before you take your first step out of bed, and it has everything to do with the state your body is in during those first few minutes of consciousness. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your blood becomes slightly thicker. Your lymphatic system has been quietly working to clear cellular waste, and your kidneys, which never truly sleep, have spent the entire night concentrating toxins and filtering your blood at a slower, quieter pace. During this time, a substance called creatinine and other metabolic byproducts build up in your system, and your kidneys are essentially waiting for one signal to flush everything out efficiently. That signal is not tea. It is not coffee. It is not even plain water, though water is far better than most choices. The most powerful morning kidney signal you can give your body is warm water with a generous squeeze of fresh lemon, and here is exactly why this is not just folk wisdom. Lemon juice contains a natural compound called citrate, and citrate has a documented, measurable impact on kidney stone prevention and on the way your kidneys filter uric acid and calcium crystallization. Research highlighted by the National Kidney Foundation found that increasing urinary citrate levels can reduce kidney stone risk significantly because citrate literally binds with the particles that would otherwise clump together and form stones. But beyond stones, what warm lemon water does in those early morning minutes is gently stimulate urine production, shift your blood toward a slightly less acidic environment, and signal to your kidneys that it is time to actively flush rather than conserve. Many of my patients told me they had been drinking tea first thing in the morning for 30 or 40 years. Tea contains caffeine, which in the morning on an empty system can slightly restrict blood vessels and raise blood pressure temporarily, which puts subtle but real strain on kidneys that are already working hard from the overnight shift. When I asked my patient Harold, a 71-year-old retired engineer who came to me with chronic lower back aching, mild protein traces in his urine, and a fatigue he described as bone deep, to simply swap his morning tea for warm lemon water, he looked at me the way most people look at doctors when they expect a complicated prescription. He said, "That is all?" I said, "Try it for 30 days and come back and tell me." 26 days later, he came back and said something I have never forgotten. He said, "Doctor, I do not know what happened, but I feel like someone opened a drain." That is exactly what lemon water does. It opens the drain. It tells your kidneys that the morning flush is authorized, and it gives them the tool they need to do it efficiently. Half a lemon in a glass of warm water, not boiling, not ice cold, just comfortably warm every single morning before anything else passes your lips. That is step 1, and it costs almost nothing. The second thing your kidneys need from you every morning is something that seems completely unrelated to kidney health on the surface, But when you understand the biology, it becomes one of the most important things you can do for your internal organs as you age. After a night of stillness, your circulatory system is operating at reduced efficiency. Blood flow slows during sleep, particularly to the organs of the lower abdominal and back region, which is exactly where your kidneys sit. When circulation to the kidneys is reduced, oxygen delivery drops, and your kidneys, which require enormous amounts of oxygen to perform their filtration work, begin their morning at a deficit. This is one of the reasons so many seniors feel heavy, foggy, and slow in the morning, not just because of bad sleep, but because their internal organs have not received adequate blood flow yet and are struggling to shift into full function. Here is what the research from Harvard Medical School has shown in studies on older adults. Even 5 minutes of gentle, low-impact morning movement can increase circulatory efficiency by up to 25% within a short period of consistent practice. Not running, not lifting weights, not anything that strains joints or raises heart rate dramatically. Just intentional, gentle spinal movement that targets the lower back and core region, which is the area directly surrounding your kidneys. The cat-cow movement, which involves sitting or standing comfortably and slowly arching and rounding your spine in a rhythmic motion, creates a gentle internal massage effect on the organs around the spine, including your kidneys. As you move your spine through these gentle curves, you improve blood flow to the kidney region, stimulate the surrounding tissue, reduce the stiffness that causes that dragging morning heaviness, and signal to your nervous system that it is time to shift from sleep state to active state. Combined with slow, deep breathing while you move, you also increase the amount of oxygen reaching your bloodstream, which gives your kidneys the fuel they need to begin full filtration. My patient, Mrs. Dorothy Chen, a 68-year-old retired nurse who came to me dealing with persistent morning stiffness, occasional dizziness when she stood up, and what she described as a constant low hum of discomfort in her lower back, told me she had simply assumed all of it was normal aging. I asked her to add 3 to 5 minutes of gentle spinal movement every morning after her lemon water, and nothing else changed initially. Within 2.5 weeks, she called my office and said something remarkable. She said, "Doctor, I do not know if this is placebo or real, but I wake up and within 5 minutes I feel warm and awake, like my body remembered how to turn on again." That warmth she described is not placebo. That is blood flow reaching her kidneys, her gut, her lower body, and her brain with the efficiency that 5 minutes of intentional movement creates. This step is not about fitness. It is not about weight or strength or calories. It is about giving your internal organs, specifically your kidneys, the circulation they need to do their best work every single morning. 3 to 5 minutes. Slow, gentle, rhythmic. That is all it takes. And now we come to the third step, and this one is the one that surprises people the most, because it is not about what you add to your morning, it is about what you delay. And this particular habit shift, when my patients implement it, often produces the fastest and most noticeable reduction in kidney strain within just a few weeks. Here's what most people do not realize. Your kidneys do not stop working overnight. They slow down, yes, but they are still filtering, still balancing electrolytes, still processing the metabolic waste from your body's cellular activity throughout the night. And in the first 60 to 90 minutes after waking, that nighttime filtration process is completing its final phase. Your body is in a natural state of morning detoxification, and your kidneys are the engine driving it. The problem is that many seniors in those exact first 90 minutes eat a heavy protein-rich breakfast, and this forces the kidneys to abandon their overnight cleanup work and immediately pivot to handling protein metabolism. When your body digests protein, it produces nitrogen waste products, primarily urea, which your kidneys must then filter and excrete. This is completely normal and healthy at the right time. But when you flood your kidneys with protein metabolism demands during the exact window they are trying to complete their overnight detox work, you create a filtration conflict that puts unnecessary strain on already age-sensitive kidney tissue. Research from the National Kidney Foundation and published nutritional studies from Harvard both support the idea that spreading protein intake across the day rather than front-loading it in the morning results in better metabolic balance and less accumulated organ stress over time. And for people over 60, whose kidney filtration rate has naturally already declined by anywhere from 20 to 40% compared to younger years, this timing matters enormously. So what does this look like in practice? For the first 60 to 90 minutes after waking, after your lemon water and your gentle movement, choose foods that are hydrating, gently fibrous, and low in dense protein. Fresh fruit, a small bowl of soaked oats, warm porridge with a little honey, a smoothie with banana, and a handful of greens. These foods support the digestive system with gentle energy, contribute to hydration, and do not trigger the heavy filtration demand that protein creates. Then, after that golden window has passed and your kidneys have had the time they need to complete their natural morning function, you can and absolutely should eat protein. Eggs, yogurt, a small portion of fish, whatever suits your diet and your health needs. The point is not to eliminate protein. The point is to give your kidneys the gift of uninterrupted morning function before you ask them to take on extra work. My patient George, a 64-year-old man who had been eating 2 eggs and sausage every morning for as long as he could remember, made this one change and reported within 3 weeks that his afternoon energy levels, something he had not mentioned as a concern but something that changed dramatically, had improved more than they had in years. He said, "I thought I was just getting old. Turns out I was just timing things wrong." That is the power of this golden window. It does not cost money. It does not require a prescription. It requires only a shift in when you do something you were already planning to do. As we reach the end of this conversation, I want you to sit for a moment with what you have heard today, because kidney health is one of the most underappreciated aspects of aging well, and yet it touches every single part of how you feel, how you think, how you move, and how long you live with quality and independence. Your kidneys are working for you right now, every second of every day, quietly and without complaint, and they deserve the 30 minutes of morning attention that these 3 steps require. Warm lemon water first thing to open the morning flush. Gentle spinal movement to restore circulation and oxygen flow to your kidney region. And a golden protein window to let your kidneys complete their natural overnight repair before taking on new metabolic demands. These are not complicated. They are not expensive. They do not require you to overhaul your life. They require only that you make 3 small, consistent decisions every morning, and that consistency, practiced day after day, is where the real transformation happens. I want to hear from you in the comments right now. Which of these 3 steps felt most surprising to you? And which one are you going to start with tomorrow morning? Your answer matters to me, and it may help someone else reading the comments who is still deciding whether to take the first step. If this video gave you something valuable, please share it with someone over 60 who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you do not miss the next video, where I will go deeper into the foods that are silently stressing your kidneys every single day without you realizing it. Your health is not out of your hands. It never was. It is built quietly and powerfully one morning at a time.